What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Renegade Home Theater. My name is Mike. I'll be your host for this evening. Joining me, as always, is the streaming demon himself, Jacob.
Hello, everybody.
We got our fearless leader, Kiona.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode.
And making his return, we got Hayden.
Greetings and salutations.
So, because we're in the thick of award season, this batch of films is among the more critically acclaimed of the whole, the past couple months. We have reviews for News of the World, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Sound of Metal, Judas and the Black Messiah, and of course, Nomadland. We'll begin with one of the films that I missed, unfortunately, News of the World.
Okay, so News of the World is a film directed by Paul Greengrass, who has directed several of the Bourne movies, as well as United 93, Bloody Sunday, and Captain Phillips was also the star of this film, Tom Hanks, and which in both movies he plays a captain who tries to assure us that he is in fact the captain. So in this film, it takes place in the 1870s South, and Tom Hanks plays Jefferson Kyle Kidd, a Civil War veteran who has a job reading newspapers to town to town to the illiterate citizens. And he comes across a German immigrant girl named Joanna, who was taken by a Native American tribe that was later killed, including her parents and her sister. And so Tom Hanks takes her in, and he plans to take her across the state to reunite her with her aunt and uncle, which are her only relatives left. And along the way, they sort of form a father-daughter bond. I actually saw this movie in the theater, believe it or not. And it was really nice seeing a movie like this on the big screen because it is a gorgeous movie. Absolutely stunning to look at. Wouldn't you agree, Kiona?
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so. That was one of the things that struck me about it was the cinematography and just how beautiful the movie looked. Yeah.
Oh, News of the World. It is a very cinematic film. It really pulls you into its environment. It is a very genuinely good prestige Oscar film. Both Tom Hanks and Helena Zengo, who plays Joanna, they have a really good dynamic between the two. It's Tom Hanks basically flexing his dad skills.
Nice.
Right? It's the only thing is it didn't really stick with me when it was over as much as it probably wanted to. I don't want to say it's a it is a slow movie. I will say this. It is a slow burn, very slow burn type of movie. It's all about, it really confronts themes about responsibility and fatherhood in a very mature, artistic way. And which means it's not as, it doesn't, it's not a crowd pleasing film in the strictest sense is what I would say about it. It is worthwhile, just again for the cinematography and the performances between Tom Hanks and Helena Zengo, like I mentioned. So, Kiona, what do you think about it?
I actually really liked it. For me, it was kind of the perfect palate cleanser after watching 4 very heavy dramas. This is kind of a heavy drama too, but it has that Western vibe to it. Like I'm surprised to see a movie like this exist in this day and age where it's like, kind of a post Unforgiven world where we don't have many just pure Westerns anymore, it seems like. I just watched Let Him Go, which is kind of a little bit of a modern sort of spin on a kind of Western motif. So that was interesting to see before watching this movie. And then coming into this one and just hearing the score by James Newton Howard, which was fantastic in my opinion. And like just seeing Tom Hanks perform like those scenes where he gets to actually read the news to people and it lives up to its name as being about the news of the world. It's he's a consummate performer, and I love that about it. Also, an interesting little tidbit for those of you who are old like me and remember this movie called Turner and Hooch, which is getting a series reboot on CBS, and Paramount Plus and what have you. There's a little bit of a reunion here between Tom Hanks and his Turner and Hooch co-star Mare Winningham. So that's an interesting little tidbit.
Really? Who does she play?
She's in this as Jane, and I can't really recall offhand like where she is in the movie, but I did see her name in the credits, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. So when I go back and rewatch this, I'm gonna actually look for her. But to me, it's fascinating to see this kind of film exist here, and especially being directed by Paul Greengrass, because I was like, this is a well-directed film. As I was watching it, I was surprised by like how like well done the action sequences were in this movie. Like,
yeah, that's another thing. When Tom Hanks, when he's defending her from these perverts that they come across in the town, and they're hiding behind these rocks, and she goes and she gets birdseed that they can use as bullets in the gun.
Yeah.
It's a tense scene too when they're hiding out, and
they're out of bullets and they're desperate, so they're just like throwing birdseed in the shells, in the shotgun shells, just to have something to shoot at the guys. Mm-hmm. And it was just, what an intense moment that was. And that was the moment that I saw on like one of the talk shows, I think one of the late night shows, that made me want to watch this film. So yeah, it's a good movie. I would recommend it myself. I would say definitely watch it. It's one of those that kind of snuck in under the radar for me anyway. I didn't expect this to be as good as it was. So yeah, like I said, good cinematography, good direction, excellent performances on the part of Tom Hanks and Helena Zengel. Like you said, she's very good in the film.
Yeah, any actor who can upstage Tom Hanks definitely is worthy of an Oscar nod.
Now you compare this to Unforgiven, so I imagine like these two would make a great double feature.
Well, I mean, it's just interesting because like Unforgiven was kind of like the last word on Westerns, until you have things that are more genre blending, like Serenity or like Logan or.
Well, there was also True Grit. That was more of a straight Western, actually.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, so
you had remakes like True Grit, 310 to Yuma.
Yeah, True Grit. That also
7.
They also that was kind of an interesting father and daughter like type of relationship with Jeff Bridges and Haley Steinfeld.
Oh yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, that would actually be a good double feature, I think, if you watch like the True Grit remake and you watch this back to back. That would be very, very cool. Also, I got a severe case of Last of Us vibes out of this movie. I really did, because I was like, man, this is like Last of Us if it were a Western, or like Red Dead Redemption 2. Like there's some definite, somebody's played those games, I think, after watching this movie. But like, yeah, I got to say kudos to everybody involved. I really liked this one. This might have been my most purely entertaining film of the bunch.
Right.
For me personally.
Maybe I have to watch it again, honestly. But Mike,
cool.
Mike, does that sound interesting to you?
Oh hell yeah! I've people who know me know that I have a big affinity for Westerns. I haven't seen as many recently, just because I've been busy in other spaces, but everything I've heard about News of the World just sounds like it's right up my alley.
What about you, Hayden? Does this sound like something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I'm actually planning on watching it tomorrow. So this like really did give me like a nice little preview of what to expect, and I'm very interested in seeing it.
Well, I'll say this much too. It's a movie that I paid $20 to rent, and I'll probably pick it up when it comes out for sale for purchase.
If that's not a seal of approval, then I don't know what is. Any final thoughts before we move on to the next one?
News of the World. It's a gorgeous film, absolutely. Whether this is an emotionally resonant movie, your mileage will probably vary.
Yeah. I mean, I've said my piece on it. I think it's a good movie. It's well worth seeing. So check it out.
Awesome.
And it's available on premium VOD right now. It'll probably go on sale maybe within the next few weeks.
Yeah, it
It's-
sounds about right.
It's still also playing in theaters too. I should also mention.
Oh, true. Yes.
Yeah, it was at my local theater. It was playing there for quite a while. There was a lot of elderly people there actually as well. Well, it is a Western and Tom Hanks is in it, so that's pretty inevitable actually.
All right, so we move on to the next film, Aaron Sorkin's second directorial effort, The Trial of the Chicago 7. Hayden, you want to take this one?
The Trial of the Chicago 7 is the new Aaron Sorkin film, both written and directed by him. It follows the real-life story of the Chicago 7, who were a group of anti-Vietnam War protesters charged with conspiracy, crossing state lines with the intention of inciting riots at the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. It is on Netflix.
Yep.
Originally, it was going to be released in theaters by Paramount. We should also mention before they just gave it over to Netflix.
It was really fast. It must be so fascinating for that to kind of a thing to happen. That took me kind of off guard when I saw the credits.
This isn't the first time that Paramount and Netflix have, I guess, for lack of a better term, shared distribution for certain titles.
This has been going on since like Cloverfield 3 back in January 2017.
Even before that, I remember The Little Prince was supposed to be a Paramount release.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they have a very good, in fact, just Viacom and CBS in general, actually, because they also given some Nickelodeon titles on there, like Invader Zim and Rocko's Modern Life, and even the upcoming Loud House movie.
It almost makes me question why they need to have their own streaming service when they can just.
I know
they can just set up like a multi-picture deal with Netflix.
Yeah,
get that money.
So this is one of the other
titles
that
money.
I unfortunately did not see, but I don't know. I'm on the fence with whether or not I would enjoy this. I know I was a big fan of Sorkin's first directorial effort, Molly's Game, and not just because I'm a big Jessica Chastain fan. I just think there was something about the material that really worked for him. How for starters, how would you compare this to Molly's Game?
I haven't seen it.
I also have not seen Molly's Game.
Yeah, I'm one of those people where I missed out on that movie completely, and I've always meant to go and watch it, and I just never seem to find the time to watch it. But
yeah, sorry,
you would
Mike.
think that I would.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry, but you know what though? I will say that for this movie, Aaron Sorkin did a really fantastic job directing it, and also his writing kept things snappy and sharp. And I felt that the cast in this movie was just excellent. I'm gonna give some props because he probably won't get any. I'm gonna give some props to Frank Langella for playing that corrupt, asshole judge.
God, I was yelling at the screen.
Because, dude, that guy, let me tell you, Frank Langella, first of all, best Skeletor ever. Secondly, this guy, he comes in this movie and I'm expecting him to be this total hard ass guy. And he turns out to be the most corrupt, the most weirdly off individual in this whole entire movie. He's so super corrupt and racist and just everything that you wouldn't want in a judge.
Yeah.
And clearly anybody who has any legal acumen could have seen that. But Frank Langella just played the hell out of it, and it's a brilliant performance on his part because I just hated his guts. And let me tell you, to make me hate Frank Langella is that's an accomplishment because I love that guy so much. But yeah, he's what an actor, what a performance, and he's gonna get no credit for it because he's such a bad guy in this movie. He's obviously the bad guy, but it's the cast is excellent. Just uniformly excellent, including Sacha Baron Cohen. Borat himself is in this movie, and he just nails it completely.
I do want to say, I think Sacha Baron Cohen was fantastic, but someone
was.
I don't see getting as much credit. I thought Jeremy Strong was great too.
Jeremy Strong was.
I thought
excellent.
he really held his own against Cohen.
Yes.
Just bring that out there. Jeremy Strong overlooked, in my opinion.
Yes. Who else is overlooked in this movie? Let's go down the list.
What about Eddie Redmayne?
Oh, he's great.
The most scaringly good American accent from someone as British as he is.
How about the actor who played Bobby Seale? I'm so scared that I'm gonna mispronounce his name, but I know he played wasn't he Manta in Aquaman?
Yep. The actor's name is
right?
Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, on Watchmen.
Yes.
Also overlooked are also Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Richard Schultz, the assistant federal prosecutor.
Yeah, excellent performance on his part. Yes.
Mark Rylance, he is the protesters' attorney. William Kunstler.
Yeah.
I have to say I love Mark Rylance as an actor.
Me too.
And it's always a pleasure for me to see him. Whether on stage or on screen, he always gives it his best.
Very likable.
To tell you the truth, I love the entire cast in this movie. That was the thing that really kept me watching this movie, other than the direction and the writing, because it was just so fascinating to see all these great actors just play off of each other, and it's really, really good in that regard. John Carroll Lynch, who's another guy who's one of those character actors that you always see, but you never really know his name. He was David Dellinger.
Yeah.
The bald one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also, I love him on American Horror Story whenever he's on that.
Yeah.
He's Twisty the Clown for one on that show.
He had that moment in this movie where he's like, don't touch my arm, and then he just full on clocks the guy, and it was just oh man,
much to his son's disappointment.
Much to his son's disappointment, but at the same time, it's that dude deserved it, and his reaction to it is I hit him. It was just what a movie, and of course, the Batman himself, Michael Keaton.
Great cameo.
Yes,
he plays Ramsey, who was the U.S. Attorney General at the time.
The prior U.S. Attorney General, yeah. The one that apparently they all didn't like all the Justice Department guys didn't like him because he was he did not, he resigned an hour before they came in. So he held his office as long as he could just to piss them off.
If I'm going to be critical of aspects, is that they take some, let's say, historical liberties.
Oh,
they take a lot of those.
Yeah,
not
especially
surprised.
The end.
But it is a crowd-pleasing movie, and in that regard, I really enjoyed it. But also, just maybe look up more details of what actually happened. Don't take this as a history lesson.
Yeah, I always say with movies that are based on true events or based on historical events, never to take it at face value, because you never know what they change.
Take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah. But as a film, as a movie, I wish Tyler were here to discuss this, because I think he would have a lot to say.
Oh, yeah, he would have talked our ears off.
But I think that as a film, though, it is a very it's a good movie, and a good use these films, I think, as a jumping off point, and then hopefully it inspires you to look up the true story and really what happened to these individuals and that sort of thing.
We should also mention the editing of this movie, which was one aspect of this movie that I actually really liked. I wasn't crazy about this movie personally, but the editing was what pulled me in personally. How it just constantly cuts to flashbacks of the riots and the courtroom, and also these bars that they go into when they meet across these people who kind of backstab them, essentially, who seem like they're part of their movement, but then just kind of informants, exactly. The editing, it did remind me of The Social Network in that respect.
It really did.
Another criticism I kind of have of this movie is that the scene where Bobby Seale is essentially bound up and tortured. By the thing is, did that come across as a little white saviory to you guys? When guys basically they come to his defense at the end.
I can see that. I'm not going to disagree.
Because I
I
have heard some
suppose.
people voice that criticism as well. Also, speaking of which, we should also mention Fred Hampton is a character in this movie.
Yes,
Yep, one of
that
Who will
two
come into play
movies.
later. Fred Hampton, who is played by Kelvin Harrison Jr.
very interesting.
So, yeah, I guess we have some twin films here. This is like a Armageddon and Deep Impact sort of thing.
Oh, jeez. It's like Volcano and Dante's Peak all over again.
So anyway, yeah, Try the Chicago 7. It's a good movie. It's a decent time. It's just didn't really particularly stand out to me. Like would you say at least that this movie was relevant
Yes.
given like the certain riots that have been going on last year?
Yeah, like certain protests and things. Yeah, I would say that it definitely seemed like a timely topic for them to talk about. And yeah, like I said, I mean, for me, it was just mostly about the performances that I enjoyed. So yeah, I would say it's worth watching just for that.
Yeah.
But don't take it as the gospel truth or anything. Just take it as it's an entertaining film. Aaron Sorkin, once again, he does his thing and turns out pretty decent, I think.
I'm sure I will see this eventually because I am kind of a Sorkin completionist. Like earlier this year, I saw Moneyball for the first time and really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to go back and fill some of the gaps of his filmography.
And my promise to you, Mike, is that I will watch Molly's Game this week.
Awesome.
I will still get to it eventually. I'm not going to make any blanket promises, but eventually.
We all fall short of the great almighty Sorkin. All right.
What's up next?
Next, I'll go ahead and take this one. So the next film on our list is Sound of Metal. This is directed by Darius Marder and co-written by Marder and Derek Cianfrance. So this movie stars Riz Ahmed and Olivia Cook. Riz Ahmed plays the drummer of a heavy metal duo called Blackgammon, and the film is his like pretty much his dealing with his like deteriorating hearing. And going through all the trials, doing what he can to adjust to his new life, but also trying desperately to get back the thing that he lost. Before I throw it over to Kiona, one thing that I have to say is I don't think I've seen a more relatable protagonist like of the films that we watched in this bunch. I think Ruben Stone might be the most relatable protagonist of the bunch because his struggle is I just feel for him.
Yeah. It's interesting. Derek Cianfrance, is that how you pronounce it? Cianfrance?
Yep.
He wrote and directed Blue Valentine. I did not know that.
Yeah, he did Blue Valentine, The Place Beyond the Pines, and A Light Between Oceans.
Huh. Interesting. I really liked Blue Valentine. I thought that was a very good, very hardcore human drama film, but that was really good. I've always liked that movie. Anyway, yeah. So Sound of Metal. First of all, again, I'm performance guy. So again, I'm gonna say like the performance by Riz Ahmed and Olivia Cook are just amazing. Also, I was like, when he went to the rehab place for hard of hearing and deaf people, and he was learning sign language, and I saw an actress, and I was like, where have I seen this actress before? And it turned out that she was in she's in The Walking Dead right now.
Oh,
Lauren Ridloff.
Ridloff, yeah.
The teacher?
Who I might mention is going to be in Marvel's Eternals, directed by none other than Chloe Zhao.
It's all connected, guys.
It's all
Everything is connected in this episode. It's so weird. Anyway, yeah, Lauren Ridloff, she's great. I love her in The Walking Dead, and I love her in this. She's really good. For all of the 10 minutes of screen time she has in this movie, but she's very good in it. Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about relatable, Mike? You and I we love our metal here, so especially here at RPC. So I'd be curious to hear Nick's thoughts on this movie too. But it's that opening sequence where you can or you see the kind of music that he plays, and then later on as the film progresses, you kind of you get that idea of like, oh crap, like this, his music playing days are behind him now, and that's just so tragic.
Yeah.
It's one of the most. This movie for me was a pure tragedy. It was so sad, and at the same time, there was that glimmer of hope because he does get, if I may go into a little bit of spoilers here, which I will note this on the on the show notes, but like I think that moment where he goes and gets the surgery and then he gets the implant, and I was so hopeful at that time, like maybe he can go back to his old life, like that's what I was thinking. He sells his RV, his van, his truck, and uses the money to just go back to see his girlfriend. And like I was so on the edge of my seat just thinking maybe he could possibly go back to playing music in some way, or like, I mean, he still could obviously, but like, maybe he could return to his old life, I guess is what I was thinking. And so they have that scene where it makes it clear that he can't with the implant. It's not the same. So it was just heartbreaking for me, and I felt for him very much. Yeah.
One thing I noticed like throughout his arc is I kind of picked up on if not all 5 stages of grief, but like at the very least, once he first notices his hearing like fading, he starts with denial.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then it gets to the anger, and then everything about him selling his RV and selling all of Lou's equipment. That's sort of like the negotiation,
bargaining. Yep. Yeah.
And by the time we get to that final shot, again, spoilers for a movie that's like 2 months old, that's his acceptance.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, you see a little bit of depression between that when he tries to hear his girlfriend and her father sing a song they wrote about her mother, and he could barely hear a thing. It's all muffled and stuff. Yeah, we should also the sound design in this movie.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Just oh my god, the sound in this is just phenomenal. Like it so perfectly encapsulates it betrays so well like when you lose hearing, like how sounds like how loud sounds sound and that ringing in his ears when it like comes to him, it puts you in his perspective so well. Like this is such an empathetic look at people with disability and coming to grips with it. And actually I loved how like it brings him closer to these people around him. Because when I started this movie, I thought it was just going to be nothing but loud noises. It was like him performing and whatnot, and going to all these surgeries and such. But it was a much more human look at this sort of thing than I expected it.
Yeah.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, it reminded me. There's this documentary on Netflix. It's called Notes on Blindness. It's about a theologian who lost his eyesight, and it's his audio journal cut to reenactments, set to reenactments of his experiences of trying to connect with his family and such, and how the world sounds around him. This was kind of like that, but in reverse in a way. So that was what came to mind when I was watching it. It's a phenomenal movie. It actually might be my favorite so far of the Oscar hopefuls, at least according to Variety, what they think are the Oscar hopefuls. And I love this. Riz Ahmed absolutely knocks it out of the park.
There's another performance we need to talk about. Probably one of the best supporting roles that I've seen recently. Paul Raci as Joe, the leader of the rehab place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He felt like a real person, actually, like someone we've all met before one time.
He kind of reminds me of my grandfather on my mom's side. Like he just has that kind of like that stoic but also kind of warm demeanor. Like he cares about pretty much everyone in that house, but he's also like his rules are pretty firmly established, and
Yeah.
if you break those rules, then then you can't, you're just not welcome in his presence.
Yeah, particularly in the end when Riz Ahmed basically says, I can't stay here anymore. I need, doesn't he ask he needs money to buy back the RV and such, and then he just tells Paul Racy, tells him, we don't see deafness as a disability. We don't see that around here, and it pains me that you see it that way, that you feel like you can't stay here. So just pack your things and go, man.
Yeah.
Hayden, what did you think about this movie?
I really thought I loved this movie. This was a really, really well done, well acted film. Again, Paul Racy and Riz Ahmed are both great in it. Olivia Cook, I always love seeing her. So just a very effective, well done film. I don't really think I have any much I can add, but yeah, I really love this movie.
Yeah, excellent.
I think I think like you said, the sound design is excellent. If anything, they should get an Academy Award for the sound design.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And the way that it lets us hear how the implant actually sounds, and that whole aspect of it, I had no idea that implants like that even existed, that could allow you to even hear that much. When
that was something new that I learned. I know when most people think of I guess treatments, or kind of when most people think of the deaf community, they only usually think of people with the standard hearing aids. But I didn't know that you could get implants like that.
Yeah.
I took a class in college about disability in society, and we actually read a book about the cochlear implant. And something that was really interesting was there is actually a lot of discourse within the deaf there is a lot of discourse within the deaf community about the implant, because and the movie does actually a really good job at translating that into the story, I feel.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's something that I definitely want to research more. And I just want to echo you guys' statements on Paul Racy and what a great character actor he is. I'm looking at the movies and TV shows he's been in. He's been in Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, one of my favorite movies. Aeon Flux, the original cartoon, the animated series. He was in that.
Yeah, his credits are kind of insane when you take a second to look at them.
He was a Nightcrawler.
Oh my god. Wow. This guy, he's a great
no, sorry, no,
actor.
that was Riz Ahmed. I'm sorry. Paul Racy. I'm reading Paul Racy's filmography right now.
He's also got a couple additional voices in the HBO Spawn animated series.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I'm just bringing up that the Golden Globes saw Paul Racy and Jared Leto and decided to give it to Jared Leto. That nomination to Jared Leto. That just hurts.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, it's the Globes. What they only get two things right.
I'm not surprised. I'm just
disappointed.
Disappointed. I don't know what I expected.
They made a boo-boo.
It's like that Malcolm in the Middle gift. I was expecting nothing. I was still let down.
And Paul Racy was in The Glimmer Man, for God's sake. All right.
Okay.
Sound of Metal. It's on Amazon Prime. Go watch it. Good movie.
Any other final thoughts before we move on? For me, I'd say that this is I had it at number 10 on my 2020 list, but honestly, the more I think about it, the more I think this might just be one of my favorite films, probably top 5 of last year. Because I don't know, I just find a lot with with the main character that I can relate with, and the use of sound design in this movie is one of the most impressive uses of sound design in any movie I've seen this decade. So if you want like a good demonstration of like the best way to use sound in film, this is a good example of that.
Yeah, just Oscars, please give this that Oscar and not Tenet, because apparently, according to Variety, that may be a front runner. Which, like, just because like it's a testament that just because the movie is loudest doesn't mean that it justifies giving it the best sound Oscar. This uses sound in such an ingenious way that it just has to win, if no other award on the
So they're
Oscars.
combining the two sound categories this year, I believe.
Yeah, they are. But
So
it's just sound.
that's going to be interesting, I think.
Yeah, as far as this movie's Oscar chances, it could either help or hurt having both like editing and mixing kind of in the same category.
Definitely.
All right, we got 2 films left, and these ones are pretty major. The next one is Judas and the Black Messiah. This is a biological drama written, directed, and produced by Shaka King, and also produced by Ryan Coogler. So this one is set in 1960 Chicago, and is basically the events that lead to, spoilers for real life events, the betrayal and murder of Fred Hampton, the chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, at the hands of an FBI informant, William O'Neill. We have Daniel Kaluuya playing Fred Hampton, and Lakeith Stanfield playing Bill O'Neill. Kiona, why don't you start with this one?
Okay. Wow. This film, first of all, I want to say it's a revelation in terms of the director, Shaka King. I will definitely be looking at any film that he does in the future, because his direction in this movie, he just directed the hell out of it. Again, I hate to do this because I'm always performance guy, but I'm gonna say Daniel Kaluuya, he blew me away in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, even more so than in like Get Out, and like, yeah, I mean, just what an incredible performance where he just brought the character and the person to life. It's almost like watching a man who's possessed. It was just incredible. Lakeith Stanfield also was excellent, and you could see just how much it tore him to shreds internally, like what he had to do, and the fact that he was being kind of forced into it. I want to give a shout out to Jesse Plemons for playing that the FBI agent who just completely is like, I there's something inherently likable about Jesse Plemons, and in this role he just completely subverts that. And also like Martin Sheen as J. Edgar Hoover, like that's just good casting. Again, great casting and great performances and great direction just made the movie for me. On top of it being so significant in terms of the moment in history, and like, can I read something from this Variety article that I just pulled up about? Like, there's it's the title of the article is Shaka King on how the Judas and the Black Messiah team earned the trust of the Black Panthers and Chairman Fred Hampton's family. And at the end of the article, the final few paragraphs is director Shaka King compares this particular scene to a gladiator type moment as Daniel Kaluuya's Hampton ascends the stairs into his version of the Colosseum. So this is like after he was jailed, and then he gets out and he goes to a meeting of the Black Panthers chapter in Illinois. And they say so the director says he just got out of prison. Literally, he was a panther in a cage, and now he's out. And he said it's the scene where our background extras did just the most incredible work that they did throughout the process. It's the kind of thing you don't think about as being important, but you're talking about a scene where you're showing the might of your hero, and his power is the way his words affect people. So for them to feed off of Daniel Kaluuya the way they did in that moment, and for Daniel to feed off of them the way that he did, it made the entire experience real. After the first take, Kaluuya threw down the mic and walked out of the arena. He later told the director that he was so invested in the character that he barely knew what he was doing. And Shaka King says, it was the highlight of my career.
Yeah, sounds
That's
like
awesome.
Yeah. To just be so present in that moment, that's incredible.
I want to bring up some other performances that stood out to me.
Yes, please do.
Dominique Fishback gave a really great performance
Oh, she was good. She was so good.
And someone who isn't even listed on the Wikipedia casting list is I might be pronouncing this wrong, but Alicia Joy Powell as Mrs. Winters, who has like one scene and like she manages to just run with the whole movie, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, agreed.
She had, and I thought I think it's like a major discredit, like to just like kind of barely mention her, because she like honestly like kind of her scene when she was talking about her son was like the one like that like really that was one of the scenes that really stuck with me, and
brilliant.
I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't mention how great she was.
For as many like big like powerful moments of Hampton giving like these, you know, larger than life speeches, there's as many of those moments as there are the quieter scenes, like like the one between Hampton and his and Deborah where she's reading the poem, which, by the way, Dominique Fishbach poem, either that, I think she might have written all of them actually, that she read to Daniel Kaluuya. Like those are her original poems. Yeah, those Dominique Fishbach, those she wrote them. Okay, yeah, then that just adds an extra layer to that scene, which I think is probably one of my favorites. So something I noticed about all three of the movies that I watched is I got really invested in, you know, the romantic subplots in all of them, and that was something I was not expecting.
Also, this is a triple Get Out reunion for Lakeith Stanfield
and Lil Ray
Howery and Daniel Kaluuya. So
yeah, that's
like, that caught my eye like in the opening credits.
Oh yeah, that like the casting in this movie is just ridiculous. Yeah, and I agree. Martin Sheen plays like a pretty terrific yet despicable J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah.
He put a little bit of his elusive man from Mass Effect 2 into that role, let me tell you. Just like a little bit of that dirtbaggy, you know, spirit into that performance there. So I thought it was very good.
One phrase I would use to describe this movie is, I would call it refreshingly uncompromising.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe this, because
like as much as I loved One Night in Miami for having a nuanced look on these larger than life figures like Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, and Malcolm X, that movie gave them like different perspectives, you know, it kind of questioned their philosophies and whatnot. This movie, like, it shows you just how much of a big of a threat the FBI was at the time, you know, and in a way they still are in a sense. You know, this movie, like, I was generally scared of, you know, what the FBI was capable of. Like when William O'Brien, like when he hears that there was a Black Panther informant that was killed, that there was an FBI informant that was killed by other FBI's. No, let me start over. It turns out he hears that an FBI informant was killed by Black Panthers. It turns out what he doesn't know is the FBI that did the killing was an FBI informant that killed a regular Black Panther, actually. Killed. So that'll show how much they infiltrated, essentially, how they were just killing regular Black Panther members, you know, just to cut them down. And they were also distributing fake posters about sort of like their colleagues, like other Black Panther, like similar civil rights movements, you know, to sound like that they were bad mouthing them and such. Like there was this one group,
the Crowns.
Yeah, the Crowns. You know, so it just shows you just how much they've infiltrated this civil rights movement in a time when they were just oppressing people left and right. And it's just, also, Daniel Kaluuya, also, he just absolutely oozes charisma. Like, even if you, like me, and you never saw any footage of Fred Hampton, you never heard his voice, you can tell just from his speeches in this movie when he's describing how where there's power, there's people, there's power, and war is politics with bloodshed, and politics is war without bloodshed. Like, and when we see his sensitive side too with Dominique Fishback, you're just like, okay, there's a leader. Okay, you could this is a guy who's starting a movement right here.
Going back to what you said about the real life footage, one thing that's kind of cool about this movie is how it kind of bookmarks it bookends itself with real footage from this time period.
Yeah,
and it's also kind of cool how they begin the movie with like a dramatized interview with Lakeith Stanfield as Bill O'Neill, and then
O'Neill. God, I'm so bad with last names.
Sorry. So the film starts with Lakeith Stanfield acting as O'Neill, and then in the credits you see the real Bill O'Neill, and the resemblance is pretty uncanny.
Yeah.
I just want to say that without giving too much away, how they did the scene at the end with the real footage, like that was chilling. Like just like that moment, the movie ended after that with the explanation of like what happened around that, and it just sent chills down my spine. It was like such an effective way to do that, I think, and like I thought that was just brilliant.
Oh yeah, certainly.
I would say the real villain of this movie, I would say, is selfishness in a way, because William Neal, he starts off impersonating a cop, and he's stealing other black men's cars basically, and when he's arrested, he's interrogated by Jesse Plemons, and he asks him, why not just have a gun? And O'Neill says, a badge is scarier than a gun. So it's selfishness, and that itself, it's like he's doing under his record in a sense, like he's doing, and he's bringing down this entire movement essentially, just so he can get away scot-free. And it's a very complex role. It's a very challenging role for Lakeith Stanfield as well. But it is encouraging when we find out at the end that the Black Panther movement did thrive even after about in the 70s, led by Fred Hampton's son and his wife. Is that even that act of betrayal can't stop a movement, and I just thought it was a very encouraging message.
With a movie like this and a filmmaker like Shaka King, like these movies don't necessarily exist in a vacuum. You can kind of feel you can feel like that raw anger and passion, regarding events that have been happening in the news, like pretty much since the Black Lives Matter movement began. I'd say 7 years ago, because that's like around the time that the idea for this movie was sort of kicking around at other studios. So that this was finally released like this year makes this one pretty timely.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. Yeah.
Also, I kind of have to say, since Blade doesn't have a director yet, I think King should throw his hat in the ring.
Totally.
I could see that. Yeah, definitely.
Like he already has a connection to the MCU with Ryan Coogler. So
yeah, that's true.
So that's already one foot in the door.
So yeah.
So this one's on HBO Max if anybody wants to watch it. It's streaming until March 14th. So definitely.
It's also playing in theaters if you feel like it's safe enough for you to go in there.
Yep. Well worth supporting and well worth seeing, I think.
Yeah.
Agreed. Hayden, any final thoughts?
No other final thoughts, but go watch it before it leaves HBO Max, hopefully. But yeah, this was a great one.
All right. We come to the final film of this bunch, Nomadland. Hayden, why don't you take this one?
So Nomadland is a film directed, written, edited, and produced by Chloe Zhao, starring Frances McDormand, who is a woman who loses her job and ultimately everything, and decides to travel around the American West and live her life essentially as a nomad. It is currently on Hulu, and take it from here.
Good Lord, where to even start? So I should point out that this is based on a 2017 nonfiction novel called Nomadland: Surviving America in the 21st Century by Jessica Bruder. And while I haven't seen the writer yet, one thing that's kind of neat about Chloe Zhao as a director is she's pretty much directing nonfiction, but as narrative as opposed to like documentary filmmaking. It's like,
yeah,
it's kind of like a hybrid of the two, because while Frances McDermott and David
Strathern,
Strathern,
David Strathern.
Well, they're like the only two actors.
They're the only two actors. Yeah.
The rest of the cast are pretty much playing themselves. Most notably, a van dwelling YouTuber named Bob Wells, who has like two major scenes, but the second one, where he's talking about his son who committed suicide at the age of 33. That one broke me.
I don't even think that was a real detail of him. I think that was just part of the script, and like he still sold it.
Yeah.
Sold it. Yeah, this was a movie, man. This is a very immersive movie, I should say. I love immersion in movies. Essentially, that's, I think, the highest status a movie can be. It's like if you just forget that you're watching and you feel like you're just there. And this movie made me feel like I was there, largely because everything just felt so authentic to me. How Frances McDormand interacts with these people. It gets into the nitty gritty, essentially, about people say that this movie endorses poverty, which no, it really doesn't. It just shows why people embrace this lifestyle, what people get from it, basically. It's like, and in the context of like what was going on at the time, this is just people trying to find whatever solace they could get, like what a meaning they can derive from just being a drifter and whatnot. And
I think that comment and that perspective completely misses the point.
Yeah.
Because look, I have felt this kind of like I've felt this like imperative myself where I just want to be like alone and like go on with my life and leave society behind, because it's just so much of a rat race, and it's so much of like, it feels like the Bob Wells guy said, it feels unsustainable as a lifestyle to keep on living your life according to the almighty dollar, and just to keep, it just, so for me, this movie really resonated because I'm one of those people where if I had no obligations in my life and I didn't have this podcast and I didn't have the website, I would probably be one of those people who just travels all over the place and just doesn't care where I end up, because there's a certain, like, I don't know if I want to call it romantic notion of like just leaving behind all of your, everything that you were, and just going on a journey of like self-discovery and finding out what you're really made of. And for me, that's always been a big pull. And this movie just kind of like it showed exactly why someone would choose that life instead of choosing the easier way of just like, just settling down somewhere. I feel like to say that it endorses poverty is just completely missing the point, and just completely like not relevant at all, in my opinion, because I think that there's always a reason why people are doing things like this. To upend your life and to just give up everything that you once were is something where, it takes a lot of thought on behalf of the person. Like, you have to really want to do it if you're going to do it. You don't just choose it out of like, well, I'm just going to, sit down and not do anything. It's not laziness. It's not that. It's like you're trying to discover something about yourself, and you're trying to deal with perhaps like I felt like this was a meditation on grief, really,
Certainly.
and loss, and how you deal with that and how you move on from that. And what he says at the end is, there's no hard goodbye. There's always, I'll see you somewhere down the road. And that's, to me, what, what everybody's looking for. Everybody's trying to find some kind of, like you said, solace in this life, and everybody's trying to find meaning. And perhaps you can't find it within the system of, you get up, you go to work, and then you come home and you go to sleep.
Yeah.
I think a problem I'm noticing with audiences recently is they're conflating depiction with endorsement.
Yes.
Exactly.
And with this film, and it's one of the reasons why I love it so much, is because Chloe Zhao isn't endorsing poverty so much as she's just sort of like she's basically just capturing like a snapshot of like a day in the life of these van dwellers, and through Frances McDormand's character, like we get to go on a journey with her, like meeting all these different people, and she gets to like it kind of feels episodic, but in a way that still feels engaging. Like, and that's just kind of the power of McDormand's performance, because she's one of those actresses who pretty like is open to doing anything that the film asks of her. I just thought that she fit into this world perfectly.
Yeah.
And she had like she had such great chemistry with everyone that she encountered.
Yeah, like she felt like someone you've actually met in real life.
Exactly.
And she's a recognizable actress too, Frances McDormand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody knows her. Yeah. But she really just embodied this character, and it feels as authentic as the real people who are, nomadic people and van dwellers, as they say. And like, yeah, it felt, to me, that's the word I would use to describe this movie, is it felt authentic. I mean, she's not I feel like it's not endorsing poverty at all, because she shows you the hardships. She shows you like what they're missing on this road. And a lot of it is companionship, to a degree. I mean, there are moments where she's utterly alone and cold.
Yeah.
And basically, like she says, she's houseless, Yeah.
And I mean, she doesn't make a distinction. She makes a distinction between houseless and homeless. Like it's still her home, because all of what remains of her husband is still in there, basically.
Yeah.
And it also shows us even the unsanitary, the less glamorous aspects, like using a bucket for a toilet example.
Yep.
For example, and also we also see how her relationship with her sister is tested. How
exactly
she used to live, and then she just hit the road. Like she never really, like even when she had the perfect escape, which was her sister's house, like she never really reached out to her or anything. And
yeah, there are numerous occasions where she could have gotten out of the life. She could have found a place to settle, and she chose not to.
Yeah. And her sister said it basically that lifestyle took her away from her.
Yeah.
And later, David Strathairn, like he, I think his daughter-in-law has a baby, and he goes to live in with her, and then Fern, Frances McDormand's character, she goes to visit them, essentially. It kind of reflects, what the kind of life that she never got to have, because she and Beau, her husband, never had kids. Like there's that one part where she's holding the baby, and like she briefly becomes a mom, essentially. So there is a sense of tragedy that life just never happened to her.
Yeah, I think this movie actually brings up such an interesting sort of a topic to discuss, because it's like I feel like, for me personally, I do feel that impulse to want to just leave everything behind. And I don't know what it is in me that has that, but I know that I've considered it, and I know that at some point in my life I probably will do something like that to a degree.
I think it's something that we all kind of fantasize about, but only really like a handful of people actually
do it.
actually follow through. and commit to this sort of lifestyle. So to see their stories play out is pretty fascinating and very, very eye-opening. Eventually, I'll go back and kind of fill out the rest of Zhao's filmography. But so far, I think she does a wonderful job of like pretty much understanding the human condition inside and out.
And it definitely makes me very excited to see her work in the Eternals.
Oh hell yes!
Yeah.
Guys, did you also notice that one brief bit where Fern is walking around that small town and she walks past that movie theater and the Avengers is on the marquee?
I saw that. I saw that.
So fun fact about this movie. This was shot like pretty much in between pre-production of the Eternals. So to see that Avengers Easter egg, that was just a nice wink to the audience.
Yeah, very cool.
It's kind of like how David Lowery made a ghost story right after, like with the money he got from Pete's Dragon.
Yep.
And the Pete's Dragon remake. It is. I always love it when a director is able to make like sort of. I'm really excited to see how she makes Eternals look compared to the other Marvel movies.
Keep talking. I'm gonna see if that cinematographer is also working on Eternals.
Okay, so like I said, Nomadland. I've always had moments where where that lifestyle, like actually just going off the grid, is actually kind of enticing in a way, but it's only briefly. Like I would maybe want to go like a few hours at most. Like sometimes I go out into my local park or whatever. Like there's this lake nearby my house that I sometimes frequent. Just nice to get away from it all. But what's sad is it's only like an hour. Okay, and so it is.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish that I had the stomach to kind of go with that lifestyle.
I want to just travel. Like that's what I want to do, is just travel.
Yeah, I haven't left Michigan like since I was 10, and I'm 28 now.
Oh wow.
I feel so cooped up sometimes, and I've been living in the same house for like almost 20 years.
I feel you, man. That's like, that I understand that, because
you feel like you're in a rut.
That was me in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Trust me, as a 28-year-old still living at home, I understand that, like, that kind of stuck in a rut feeling. Even though I've been on my fair share of vacations, mostly with the family, but to just like kind of get away from it all and just stop and smell the roses. It sounds like something that once this pandemic is over, it sounds like something I think we all could use.
Hayden, is there something you want to add?
I don't think so. I just really, this was I thought like it was a really, I don't know how to say it, but like it was a really zen kind of movie in a way.
Yeah,
it really like entranced me, and I was just invested. It's a very slow burn movie, but like in a way that I felt like completely invested in what was going on and what was happening to Frances McDormand's character. This was a very, very well done film. I can't really think of much else to say besides that, but
I want to give a shout out to the cinematographer Joshua James Richards. Unfortunately, he is not working on the Eternals, but he's worked on all of Zhao's other films, like The Rider, Songs My Brothers Taught Me, and like a couple other short films. But man,
he should definitely get nominated for this one.
Definitely.
But let's mention the composer too, Ludovico Einaudi.
Oh yes.
Composer.
I love the score to this film. It's so.
I'm a sucker for piano music.
So good.
And this was pleasing to the ears, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, from what I've heard, the score, because most of it was not written originally for the film. Apparently, it's not eligible for awards season. But like the music the music they use in this, from like the piano to a lot of the diegetic stuff, like, you know, with like performances, like that one, like that one, the one in the bar, the like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guitarist who's like leading the square dancing.
Yeah.
They like moments like that I thought were really nice. It's kind of refreshing to see a very authentic and very rustic Americana, like that sort of aesthetic in a more modern film like this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, this was
Yeah.
I think all the movies we picked this time were really good. Like all the movies that you picked, Jacob, were excellent
Yeah,
choices.
thanks. I thought this would be a good catch up list.
Yeah.
This would be a good our next one though, it's maybe a little more sporadic in terms of quality and such. Like I can't guarantee like any of the other movies we'll talk about will be as they'll be as equally as good as these movies.
Well, as none
Like,
of them
we're
are
gonna-
as bad as the little things. I think we're okay.
Yeah, or Earwig.
Oh, Cam and I have had words to say about
Yes.
that on
And that episode is forthcoming, guys. I'm so sorry I'm late with it, but it's
Yeah.
forthcoming for sure.
Well, I was
Yeah.
unlucky enough to watch music.
Oh yeah, since you're here, do you want to
Oh jeez.
Let's save that for another time. I could go on
Or
for
you know,
hours.
here's an idea. We can also never talk about it. There's always that option.
We could just not draw attention to it. No, seriously, Hayden, I
Right.
think we definitely want to hear your thoughts on that for sure.
I have so much to say.
if you
Okay.
could boil it down in one sentence, how would you describe music?
I want to say, for the record, that it is one, bad because it's offensive, but two, it's also bad because it's really bad. So there are multitudes here going on that that just astounded me, and it's pure ineptitude. But yeah,
Let's hope this like do you think would you guys say that you hope that Sia's career is just finished because of this?
I honestly just don't care anymore. I just don't want to think about this after if I inevitably rant about this on another episode, then I want to completely forget that I ever watched it and like just forget Sia's name ever, like for the rest of my life, hopefully.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, this kind of feels like a movie. It feels like it was made on a dare. Like someone made an offhand remark like, "Oh, if you try to do a movie like this, it'll end your career." And she said, "Challenge accepted."
Yeah.
On a positive note, I'm just going to bring up that I love Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar,
Ooh.
which
Yeah.
is so wonderfully goofy. And you don't like really see movies that like unapologetically silly anymore. So it's like $20 to rent, but one scene alone honestly just made that movie worth it. And if I had the money, I would keep renting it. Genuinely.
We should talk about it in the next one.
Yeah, like just it's not for everybody, but I am in love with this silly, unapologetically goofy movie with possibly one of Jamie Dornan's best performances ever.
I've heard that he's a scene stealer.
He in so many ways.
Jacob, do you have any other recommendations as we're kind of winding down?
Any movie that has ever been made except for music.
Nice. There's one movie that I kind of want to shout out that was actually filmed in my hometown of Utica, New York. That I just want to shout out. My all of my local friends and family should check that out when it goes on demand. Kiona, do you have any recommendations before we head out of here?
Well, right now I'm just kind of I've been playing a lot of games, so my time has been spent doing that. But I'm watching for the first time, kind of going through Dexter.
Ooh,
So
nice.
that's interesting. Yeah, that's been a really good show, actually. I think I'm on
Just
episode 5
just
right now. It's good.
preparing you for the final season. Don't expect much.
Understood. Okay.
I'm just warning you.
Okay, that's fair.
It
That's
doesn't
good.
end on a great note.
Okay. Also watching Shameless, which is another really good show. Very dark humor, which I love. And then if everybody has a chance, go watch that History of Swear Words show on Netflix.
Oh, I've heard of that.
I've been meaning to get into that.
I watched a few episodes. It's very amusing.
Yes, it's great. I fucking love it. It's good shit. All right, so
Bitch.
and I think that's about it right now. Let's go through a little bit, like Jacob. Give us a few teases as to what to expect in the next episode of Home Theater. What do you got?
Well, we'll talk about Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. Well, here's a documentary that will interest you, Kiona. It's The Last Blockbuster.
Yes, I'm very interested in that. I actually, you guys. Okay, here's the thing. I was a Kickstarter backer for that, so I'm not really going to give my
Ooh.
opinion as to whether it's good or not. But what I will say is that some of the rewards for backing it actually made me kind of chuckle, because they're like, "Here's a Blockbuster crew shirt," and I'm just like, "Yeah, live that life." But it was, yeah, it's cool for people that I think I actually got one of the membership cards, which is hilarious to me. Like, it actually works at that Blockbuster location if I ever go there.
We'll also be
But yeah,
talking about
very cool.
Coming to America.
Very
I am
nice.
so looking forward to that.
Mhm.
Very, very nice.
Coming to America. Just let me bring up a little Saint Maud.
Same mod, okay.
Minority, another Best Picture Oscar contender.
Okay.
By the way, the film that I was referring to is called As Long as We Both Shall Live, and it was filmed right here in Utica, New York. So for all
nice.
for all of my local friends and families, you guys should definitely check that out next weekend.
Very, very cool. All right, I'll note.
Cool.
I'll note that in the show notes for you, Mike. And Mike,
We'll also be
why don't you give us?
about,
Oh, go ahead, Jacob. Sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
We'll also be talking about Tom and Jerry. Also, that so promising looking Tom and Jerry movie.
Hey, it's probably going to be better than the last Tom and Jerry movie.
Well, yeah.
God hope so.
Yeah,
Actually,
why? Because they don't talk.
Okay, so speaking of that, for the next episode of Renegade Animation, Cam and I will be talking about a pair of two really surprisingly amazing Tom and Jerry shorts from the same team that have been working on Looney Tunes cartoons on HBO Max. We'll be talking about that, the Tom and Jerry movie, plus season 2 of Close Enough, and what else? Yeah, it's close enough. There's a new anime on Netflix called High Rise Invasion, and
Interesting.
if there's one other thing, I'll just add it to show notes later. But those are the things. Those are the projects. Oh, Kid Cosmic, another Netflix series from Powerpuff Girls creator Craig McCracken.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Cam and I are finally getting to talk about that. That was released earlier in the month, but because we were busy with the anime vortex, that we didn't get a chance to talk about it yet. But I am super excited to finally check that one out.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I might try and join you guys for that one if I can try to get everything watched in time. But I'll give it a shot and see if we can maybe get on animation together. That would be cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it for this installment of Renegade Home Theater. Before we head out of here, Hayden, where can everyone find you online?
I can be found on Twitter at the Hayden Wilder and on Instagram at Hayden Wilder.
And Jacob?
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter. My name is Jacob Crable, Krehbiel, and I'm also part of the Renegade Pop Culture Facebook group.
And Kiona, where can everyone find you?
Okay, I'm going to start off with that Facebook group. It's at facebook.com/group/RPC42, renegadepopculture.com for all of your RPC needs. We got us some show notes, we got us some podcasts, we got us some articles. Definitely check that out. Guys, add me on Steam, Neoplasmic24. Also Instagram, same thing, Neoplasmic24. On Twitter and Facebook, our official feeds are at REN Pop Culture. So you guys can find us over there. That's pretty much my main Twitter now. I don't really use my personal Twitter anymore. Just use the Renegade Pop Culture one. So,
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. Find me in all the various Facebook groups, just at my name. Don't forget, you can find all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen.
Pandora.
And as we mentioned earlier, check out renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we. That'll do it for this installment of Renegade Home Theater. We will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.
See ya.